easy people, hope everyone's doing okay. Today's video I would like to speak to you about Bosnia and Herzegovina, my experiences of this country. This is my second time here now. Maybe one last little spin of this incredible water flow. I'm here in the town of Mostar, and this is my fifth city that I've had the privilege of visiting whilst here. Just let me get across the road. All good, all good. Yeah, and today I would like to speak to you about my experiences of the country, because it's fair to say that it's a country that isn't really on people's radar. It isn't one that people choose to go to, not because they wouldn't, it just really isn't one of those countries that is on people's radar. So I'm going to share with you what I've found about this country. So first things first, the main thing that has stuck out to me has been the warmness of the people. Truly, Bosnian people really are very kind, friendly. They have a good sense of humour, as I touched on in a previous video when I was in Visoko at the Visoko, sorry, get the pronunciation correct, at the Bosnian pyramid. And one of the guides told me that it's because British TV was readily available here once upon a time during the 80s and 90s, so they're very accustomed to British humour, which it is quite a unique humour, but you certainly notice it and can feel it amongst people. And just the way that they are, they're really helpful and kind. And the language is a slight barrier, but what I have found is that many of them can speak a little bit of English, but it's a confidence thing, and I can relate to that myself. It is daunting sometimes speaking in your non-native language, but I have found that many of them actually do speak better English than they give themselves credit for. And then I found some that speak absolutely perfect English, really fluent. So that is something that sticks out with me, the overall mannerisms of the people in general. I'm just going to share a real quick story with you as well, just to give you an indication. So I was staying at a hotel in the city of Zenica. I was calling it Zenica on my video vlog of the area, because that is how I read it. Being English, that is how I read it and pronounce it, but it's actually Zenica. So I was staying at the hotel, and I got back late in the day, and I needed to get down to the bus station. My bus was leaving in 30 minutes. So the lady at the reception, the young lady, she was ringing around desperately trying to get me a taxi. I don't know what the taxi services are like there or in Bosnia as a whole, but for some reason at this given moment she just could not get me one. She could not get a taxi for love nor money, and I was beginning to panic. So she could see this, and then she kindly offered that she was going to run me down to the bus station in her own car. So obviously I was extremely grateful, because I'd already paid for my ticket, paid for a hostel at the next destination. I needed to get going. So she takes me down to the bus station, and when I go to get out, I go to put my hand in my pocket, and she's instantly adamant. No money. She does not want any money. She didn't do it for that. No, and I was trying to, no, I'm really thankful for you doing this, please. She would not have it. She would not have it. Anyway, I eventually insisted. I literally insisted and said, I'm going to leave it here anyway. So I would rather if you just take it. I know you've done this as a kind gesture, because that's just your nature, but I'm insisting right now. So that really is an indication of my experience. Obviously, you cannot say that every single person from every single country is a certain way, but certainly the experiences that I have, this has been quite common. This really has been quite common. So yeah, just wanted to share that with you. And the country is, in terms of Europe, really, it's not been overrun with the big multinational corporations. I dare say they're probably trying to get their foothold in the country because that's what they do. But without these big multinational corporations on every street corner, you know, the ones that I'm talking about in all the cities now, all across the world, certainly in Europe, it's been that way for a very, very long time. You get a local economy. You get small businesses, you get family-run businesses, you get lots of different choices and these kind of things. That is a culture. That is something that is being eradicated and lost entirely from country to country because of this multinational corporation takeover. So I haven't seen that. There are a few, but in general, comparing to other countries, bloody hell. Comparing to other countries, that is something that you really will notice. Now with that, obviously does come a knock-on effect. I would presume it's something to do with that. It's the infrastructure isn't as developed as the other countries. But you can still get around. I've used the public transport. It's been challenging at times, but I've got around no problem. And then I've found that value for money, for the distance of the journeys, the duration, the value for money is really, really good. Certainly comparing to other countries, ridiculous prices we pay elsewhere. Excuse me, pardon me. Elsewhere, so that is something, again, not just on the transport side of things, food in general. It has to be one of the cheapest that I've come across in Europe, but the quality is really, really high. The food has been fantastic. I've tried so many traditional dishes. I've shared with you many of those dishes in these videos, and yeah, I have to say I've been really, really impressed with the food and the service to go with it, and that always goes down well. It's really well appreciated. Just let this van go past here. And the exchange rate is easy. It's Bosnian mark. So if something is 2 Bosnian mark, you half it, €1. So that is nice and straightforward for you to work out, so you can see exactly what it is you're paying for things. That is just a little a little bonus. It's not a reason really to come here. But then there has been some places that I've visited that I highly recommend. The town that I'm in right now, Mostar. Beautiful town. The old town is picturesque. I'm in the off season now, it's winter, but I'm told in the summertime it gets really, really busy. It's a popular place. I've also been to Visoko, which is the Bosnian pyramid, which is controversial for some, but as I recommend, you go and see for yourself and draw your own conclusion. You should visit and yeah, make up your own mind, see what you think. Sarajevo has obviously lots of history, perhaps for the wrong reasons, but nevertheless it is part of the history of this country and these places now. So that is one side of Bosnia that you should definitely acquaint yourselves with when you come here. So all in all, I've had a really, really good experience. As I said, it's my second time here now. It won't be my last. And even the next time, I plan to go to hello I plan to go to some other places off the beaten track, because this trip that I've been on, I ended up in Banja Luka and Zenica, which were not on my radar, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time there. Truly I did. I was told that I was in a place where tourists don't go. That was Zenica, but I was treated very well. Looked after. As I say, that was where the young lady took me down to the bus station, and also the people I met in the town centre when I was wandering around. They were very, very helpful, very kind. I really enjoyed my time there, and I would go back for sure. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. Hopefully perhaps it encourages some of you that haven't thought about visiting before. You can easily drop in for a shorter visit if you're in, say, Croatia. It's very common to do that, and vice versa, the other way round. So perhaps that's something you could think about doing, just to get a little taste of it. But anyway, I just wanted to do that video because it's always good to share your own experiences and allow people to draw their own conclusions from things, and then perhaps you can encourage them to also visit somewhere a little different. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed this short little video, found it useful, and as always, take care of yourselves, and always remember, life is beautiful.